Well, everybody, this is an interesting one. Finally, some good news to talk about here. How many of you guys are familiar with a guy named Jackson Hinkle? You see, the first time I ever heard about this guy, he was this, like, young 20-something, like, getting into politics, Democrat, like, I'm pretty sure he was, like, supposed to be, like, a supporter of, like, the Resistance Dems or something like that. And his whole thing was that he was, you know, just more liberal. And then he had a phase of being conservative and right-wing within, like, the same year. And then, months later, became a tanky. And then from there moved to being, like, a white nationalist, like, what's it called? Trump communists? Like, MAGA communists is what they call themselves now, I believe. So he just kind of bounces around the political spectrum with all sorts of different titles and names and affiliations. But nowadays he goes by, like, MAGA communist, and he desperately tries to come off as this, like, cool Zoomer, like, cigar-smoking, Andrew Tate type tanky dude that's also a Trump supporter and a nationalist, an American nationalist. It's very, very, very bizarre. Yeah, he's very performative. He's, like, very much putting on a show. He's a massive grifter. But I've got some good news for you guys. 17 hours ago, from Jackson Hinkle. YouTube has permanently banned my channel, The Dive with Jackson Hinkle, with 300,000 subscribers for alleged Ukraine misinformation. Ah, yes, that's out of the realm of possibility for Jackson Hinkle. Please consider donating to my Give, Send, Go to support my reporting as I find my footing and look for new work. And then links a dono link. This gets 8.8 thousand likes, of course, and lots of support from on Twitter and whatnot, because these people live on the internet. YouTube responds saying, first, make sure to fill out an appeal form. Here's how to do that. You should get an email with the decision once your appeal has been reviewed, so keep an eye on your inbox. He replies, please reinstate my channel. I will do the appeal. He is yet to be reinstated. There's a good chance that, frankly, he will be, considering YouTube's track record of actually penalizing rule-breaking channels, then going back on it, but not doing the same for false strikes. It's really bizarre. But so far, he's raised $4,377 of the $5,000 he set for the goal of on his fundraiser. So his fans are coming out in droves to support him, dropping thousands to in just less than 24 hours, like 2 days, to keep him going, you know? Once again, I need to remind you all that even among grassroots support online, the right just has more money. They just do. Their audience just gives them a lot more money. They get a lot more sponsorships. They're more shameless about how they monetize. The money gives them power and more of a voice. And it's one of the big sort of legs up that they have over online left media. That's kind of been an ongoing issue. So he's already, like, reached his goal pretty much in less than 2 days. But he's definitely not getting reinstated. Now, I do want to throw us back for a minute, because while this story is funny, and I think it's cool, I want to throw us all back for a moment to possibly one of the funniest Jackson Hinkle tweets ever. Or I guess it would be not his tweet itself, but the interaction that happened with the tweet. Who else remembers this one? Jackson Hinkle tweets, lies my parents told me when I was little. Santa is real. The tooth fairy leaves money under your pillow. The United States military is fighting wars to defend our country. And then Daniel Hinkle, Jackson Hinkle's dad, replies, 1. I'm Santa. You never complained when you got the gifts. 2. Yes, we were such assholes sneaking you money under your pillow. 3. Never once did your mother or I tell you the military is fighting wars to defend our country. That's a bold-faced lie on your part. When your political propaganda narrative to support your alt-right propaganda grift gets called out by your own dad. Jesus Christ. Oh. Yeah, it's like the polar opposite of Vosh's dad owning right-wingers on Twitter. I never got the Vosh dad follow back before my Twitter got nuked. It's Jover for me. God. You know, Jackson Hinkle and Haas Infrared were like best friends, but didn't they recently have a falling out? Maybe I have my lore like off right now, but didn't Jackson Hinkle and Haas have like a big falling out recently? They were like best boys, I remember. Dude, the craziest event that I've ever witnessed in my time as a political commentator has to be when Jackson Hinkle's best buddy Haas tried to fight Dylan at DebateCon in Texas. I was there in the room when that happened. This is Jackson Hinkle's buddy that they smoke cigars together and talk about how great MAGA communism is.
So the thing is, I can care about one thing and one thing only here, and that's the consent of the governed. And as a
I was in the room for this, by the way, guys.
patriotic...
That's based on philosophy. You don't want to talk about Hobbes or Carl Schmitt, then don't talk about abstract philosophical principles like the consent of the government.
Just keep fucking going.
I contest your foundational political philosophy. You're trying to impose a stake. If you don't care, then don't fucking debate.
Well, then don't
Simple
talk to
as
me.
that.
If you don't want to talk to me, if you don't think it
If you want to run from the debate,
walk out the room, walk away.
you can walk out because I'm talking about what I want to talk about.
But it's my turn.
I don't care. I don't care.
It's my turn to talk.
Dude, you better believe I had the biggest shit-eating grin on my face sitting in that room watching this go down. I was so ready to see Haas with like 4 ring-shaped marks on his forehead. Oh my god. I thought we were like seconds away from Dylan just breaking Haas's jaw at one point, and I was just it would have been amazing to see, but I wouldn't want Dylan to face the consequences for it. If he could have done it consequenceless, then that would have been amazing. Like, Dylan's decked out in rings on every finger right now. This is not a man you want to try to physically intimidate in a fight. Or into a fight.
I don't care. I don't care. Then walk out!
My god, you yell a lot for a guy who's dodging a boxing match.
I'm dodging the fucking boxing match.
Yes, you are.
Really? So you want me to dedicate 6 months of my time at the expense of my streaming career to train for fucking boxing?
Wait. You challenged Vosh and said since he didn't accept it.
No, I didn't.
Pussy.
Actually,
you did.
actually,
I got the
I did not. No.
You fucking coward.
Oh, really?
You
Look at this
coward.
fucking liar. This fucking liar going on record saying
coward.
I challenged Vosh.
Yes, you did. You called him a pussy for not accepting it.
No, I didn't.
Yes.
I think this started as a debate on Taiwan.
First of all, someone came in my fucking chat and asked me. Someone came in my chat and asked me, would you fight Vosh for a prize money of $50,000 or $80,000? Fuck yeah, I would.
Then you challenge Bad Empanada.
That would cover all of the streaming, all of.
Oh my god, the amount of money I would pay to watch Bad Empanada and Haas fight in real life. Oh my god, I would spend, oh my lord, the amount I would spend on a ticket to see that. Holy shit. That's the fight of the goddamn century that I want to see. The Kremlin Gremlin versus, like, that neurotic psycho. Oh my god, it would be amazing.
Of the fucking yearly cost, I could sacrifice my streaming career to fucking do that. So of course I'm gonna accept that. Furthermore, you're a fucking nobody, and Vosh has some clout. So there's something there to gain from that.
I'm bigger than you.
You're bigger than Vosh?
I'm bigger than you.
How long have you been in the scene? You
But
got
I'm
your
so bigger
shit.
than you. How are you gonna call me nobody when I'm bigger than you?
You got all your fucking clout from the November election. I'm rapidly rising, average 600 views. I see your viewership when I'm live.
Does Infrared even, like, stream anymore? All these figures that blow up in, like, a month and then are nobody a year later, and nobody even knows who they are a year later. He got banned, yeah. They always talk like a big game about how they've got such a bright future because of how fast they're growing. But 99% of the time, if you blow up and your channel just, like, explodes out of nowhere in a very short period of time, you're likely to have no staying power. That's almost always the case. Look at Dream, who's now, like, basically a shadow of his former self, who exploded and blew up in a year, and 2 years later, he's like a fraction of who he was. Look at Ninja. Figures that just explode out of nowhere have so little staying power. So little staying power in the grand scheme of things. They very, very rarely are going to keep the same amount of prominence they blew up to. Generally, it's the YouTubers who take a really long time to grow over the course of like long periods that keep their audience longer. A good example of this is Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast has only started growing quickly in the very recent, very recently in the grand scheme of his channel. For a long time, like a decade, he uploaded and was under 1 million subs. And then it took him half a decade, which is still a good amount of time, to be clear, but he refined his craft and he grew his audience, and there are still OG Mr. Beast viewers that watch him to this day, and he's been the biggest YouTuber on YouTube for years and is showing no signs of slowing down. His growth wasn't just overnight, he came out of nowhere and blew up. He slowly, deliberately learned the platform and built his audience, an audience that stayed loyal to him enough that he was able to build it into what he is now. Flash in the pan content creators like this just don't end up anywhere in the in the long term. And it's always funny to look back at them talking a big game about how big they are. He's been around at least 8+ years. He's super old in YouTube terms. Who? Zan, do you think Mr. Beast has more staying power than even PewDiePie in the long term? Yes. Yeah, 100%. Guys, my mom asked me who Mr. Beast was because I mentioned him before as a YouTuber, and she started seeing Beast Burger come up on ordered delivery apps and started seeing Feastables by Mr. Beast in the candy aisle at grocery stores. Like, yeah, no, Mr. Beast has more staying power than PewDiePie.
You don't have more fucking views than me. I already fucking outpaced you, Dylan, and I've been here less time than you have.
What happened to the infrared showdown?
What happened to the showdown is that I came to LA
out of
for a month.
In 1 month.
Oh yeah?
Oh
yeah. I went to LA. I went to LA for a month. I went to LA for a month and got COVID. That's
How can
what
you be so
happened.
manly online and be such a coward?
How am I a coward?
You're a coward because you go out like you're a big, strong.
I am. You want to fucking test me outside?
You really gonna threaten me right now?
You can't imagine the grin on my face, just the big shit-eating smile, ear to ear I had watching this go down. I was so ready to watch Dylan just murder this man with his hands. I was so fucking ready, dude. I was in the room. I was there to see it. I was ready to watch it happen. Oh yeah, no, Haas, I don't know if Haas is shorter than Destiny. Okay? When I saw Haas in person, I actually couldn't believe. I didn't see Haas. When I saw the top of Haas's head from a distance in person, I couldn't believe that was him, and I was seeing him in real life, and that's how big he was. That he's just like a little guy. Like Destiny and Haas like did like the height measuring thing at that event, and Destiny's like 1.5 inches, 2 inches taller than Haas. He's a small guy. Dylan's quite a bit taller than Haas. Dylan would have just been able to like bang him on the head with like a sideways fist and knock him out.
I'm not. I'm saying you wanna ask if I'm a big man, or then go ahead and test me outside.
You really want to go outside and fight me right now?
You can test me. You're free to test my man.
Dude, don't.
You're free to test my.
I love the way that Dylan said it, not in like a I don't want to, really, you want to do this right now, but more in a, are you sure you want to do that, buddy? Are you sure you want to go outside and fight me right now in the hotel parking lot? Are you really sure that's a fight you think you'd win and you'd make it out of? Well, that wasn't a, I don't want to, really, you're asking that. That was a, are you sure? Really? Are you sure? That's how I picked it up, and that's what it should be.
My manhood, Dylan.
You said.
Don't assume that a fucking boxing match with rules. Hey, don't assume a fucking boxing match with rules is gonna be the same as a street fighter.
You know what happened to all street fighters when they touched the MMA? They all got obliterated. They all went away. Okay. The problem is, Infrared. You asked me, here was all the conditions. You said, first, it's Michigan, it's in Detroit, it's going to be at this gym, it's going to be 10 rounds, and I meet every single one of the things you asked me for that boxing match.
No, it's not.
And then
you asked me.
Hold on. I know how to defend myself.
I have the DMs.
And now you're a coward.
DMs.
Go get them.
I have the
I challenge you after you challenge everyone else.
I have the DMs.
Get them.
Can we go back to the topic?
I have the DMs.
Can we go back to the topic?
We can go
Here's
back to the
Dylan.
topic.
So here's what happened. Actually, here's what happened. It was 3 a.m. my time time in LA. This psychopath, coping loser, he's up at 6 a.m. all night, he's seething about me, thinking about me.
What?
I was banned on Twitch. I forgot who this fucking guy was. He DMs me, he goes, what a weirdo. He goes, look at this. I'm scrolling to it. He says, let's have a boxing match out of the blue. I'm with my boy Jackson on his roof smoking a cigar. I get this fucking...
Oh, hey, we got the Jackson Hinkle name drop. It comes all around. Of course he's like, I was sitting on my roof with Jackson Hinkle smoking a cigar. These guys are all pathetic grifters, desperate to put up like a very particular kind of branding character they play. At this point, it's pretty obvious that Infrared is a character, and he's a grifter just trying to like make money off of the very, very low IQ and impressionable tanky sphere online that'll literally just listen and pay money to anybody who says a bunch of like tanky buzzwords incoherently and loudly for hours on end and talks about how awful America is. Yeah, he's basically like tanky Andrew Tate.
DM, let's have a boxing match. It'll be fun.
And then you
3 a.m. Then I said, okay, need 1 month minimum for training and promotion.
So you agree?
That's reasonable.
You agree?
You're right. But nobody told me you had experience.
Wait, so the problem is you...
Listen, hold on. If you don't recognize that boxing...
God, that was so fun to be in the room to witness, dude. I'm so glad I was there. I'm so glad I was there. That was like the highlight of that entire Texas trip.
Boxing is about experience. You're a fucking idiot. Boxing is all about experience.
The audience, that works.
It's not a street fight. It's not a fucking street fight. It's not something
MMA then.
It's not just something
Let's do MMA then.
MMA is not a street fight either.
So literally, you're just saying, let's go into an alleyway and fight, which you know I can't.
If you want, no, I'm saying if you want to test my manhood, that's on you.
Well, I just think you're a coward and you bad.
Like, what Haas is doing here is demanding that Dylan fight him in a way that there's no way Dylan's gonna lose. Like, everybody and Haas and Dylan knows that Dylan would win very handily. Like, it'd be surprising, like, even without experience, like, alone. Like, just if they were both completely inexperienced, Dylan's literal height and size and weight advantage over Haas. Also, Dylan has long arms, too. I don't think Haas would be able to get a single swing out to land on Dylan anywhere other than maybe the stomach or the leg or, like, the chest. And all it would take would be one punch or two from Dylan to knock his ass out. And at that point, Dylan's committed a crime. You can't do mutual combat in the street. It's not legal. So all it takes is for him to agree to this, win, and now Dylan's committed a crime. And that's basically the thing that he's trying to bait him into. Either Dylan won't street fight him because he's a coward, but Dylan's not letting him take that route by saying, let's just box. Let's just do a proper boxing match or MMA. Why does it have to be a street fight? You know that's illegal. No one's falling for your, like, attempt to try to make me look like a coward for not wanting to go to prison for beating your ass in the street. Let's do a boxing match where we sign legal waivers and there's liability. It was really funny. It was really funny to witness.
Backed out of it because then you learn to know how to defend myself.
Why are you worth it to me?
Because you go around and you challenge all these people.
To
right?
what?
You challenge Bana Panada, for example. You challenge him. You said you go to Argentina.
Yeah.
Then I say I'll go to your city, your gym, your community.
Yeah. Because I was willing to go there for him because I hate the guy that much. Yeah.
And you accept my boxing
So
match
it's
and
worth
then
it
you
to me.
back out.
So
You
somehow
backed
it's
out.
worth it to me.
You dodged it because you're a coward.
So let's continue.
You're not a real
Let's
man.
continue.
You just flex on the internet.
Go ahead.
God, I was so hoping for Dylan to just lay the smack down, but I'm glad he didn't. He would have gone to jail. Did you hear about how Haas agreed to street fight with a Twitter user, ghosted that fight, and then called the cops to arrest that guy who actually showed up? I'm friends with that Twitter user, you know that, right? Like, that Twitter user is literally one of my good friends, Ellen Degenerate. Yeah, basically, Ellen Degenerate trolled Haas, said, yeah, meet me at this park, we'll fight, yeah, let's street fight. Haas went there, took several photos, and posted it on Twitter saying, where are you? And Ellen Degenerate just replied, lol. Yeah, that was a friend of mine who did that. Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. I forgot all about that. Thank you for reminding me. That's pretty good. Old but relevant. Okay. Oh, here it is. This is the hotel where the debate con was.
Okay, there we go.
Literally no difference.
Destiny's
We'll just let the
taller.
chat decide.
Destiny's very obviously taller.
What, like this?
Like, and not only that, Destiny slouches all, like, literally always. Like, when you meet, you don't realize it until you've seen him in person, but he slouches at all times, and so he'd be a little taller if he had a better posture, and he's still taller than Haas, who actually has better posture than Destiny. Like, look, Haas's posture's good. Destiny's, like, got permanent gamer neck.
Back to back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Literally the same.
Nope.
Okay.
Are we good?
Yeah, I think you're good.
Nope, Destiny's very clearly taller.
Literally the same. Literally the same.
Yeah, the chat's saying Destiny's taller, and some people in chat that are trying to cope and say same height, and the rest are saying Destiny's taller, LMFAO.
Shoes were off, guys.
Okay.
This has got to be the most genuinely I've ever seen Destiny smile in my life. I don't think I've actually ever seen him smile this... He looks like a different person. Like, doesn't he look like a different person when he's smiling like this? Because usually he's got kind of... Destiny's got resting bitch face. I'm sorry, but he does. When he's sitting in a completely, like, neutral, like, state, he just looks miserable. He really does. He looks like his mom just said he can't have tendies tonight. And so when he smiles like this, it completely changes the face, like the shape of his face, and he looks like a different person. I don't know. He doesn't smile much, so it looks weird. Yeah. Happy Destiny is the only good Destiny, true. That reminds me of all the memes on the subreddits about Vosh Destiny Forever or 5ever. I forget which number it is, that's coping and upset about the bridge burn between Vosh and Destiny still. He's a Vosh and Destiny shipper that's become like, he or she, we'll use they, that's become like a celebrity in both communities for how dedicated they are to the bit. I hope it's a bit, but it might not be a bit. It might be an unironic, extremely parasocial fan of both channels. They have like multiple accounts too. Like I think they have a Twitter, a Reddit, like a fucking IMDb. I told them that friendship starts with just the tip and they liked my reply.